view. So in the wars there used to be view, and those through those view, they are basically arrangements of the military for they are the formation of the military, so that they are able to defend, they are able to attack, they have specific people placed in specific locations. So the view rachna of Pandavas is called Vajra view, and it was very systematically designed. And then, like I was mentioning, that in every match and everyone, the commentators mention the main players. Like, they do not describe, like, for a cricket team, the commentators will not give description of all the 11 players in this side and all the 11 players on the other side. They will just keep focus on, okay, what is Sachin Tendulkar, when is he coming, and all those specific terminologies. Maybe you all might be knowing more than me. Similarly, here also, what Duryodhana is doing, he's naming specific people. He's mentioning details of all the important warriors on his side and on the other side. And there is a specific reason in with which each and every word that he's speaking. Okay, so first of all, here the first word that we see is Sanjay. So Sanjay said. So who is Sanjay? Any person whose name is written in Bhagavad Gita, that person for sure is very important. He is very significant for that whole situation. And we will also see who Sanjay is and what was his position. So Sanjay was a very learned person. He was a disciple of Vyasdev, and he was given the benediction to vision the whole war. Just by sitting at Dhritarashtra's place, and he could give the details of the war to Dhritarashtra. So this was his main introduction, that he's Vyasdev's disciple. That automatically means he's very learned. And then he is the son of Kavalvan Sut. So first of all, who is called a Sut? So a Sut is, there are three meanings to Suta. Okay, one, in the earlier times, like whoever is the king's charioteer, he is also called a Sut. Second, if a Kshatriya marries a Brahmin girl and they beget a son, that son is also called as a Sut. And third, if sorry, in the earlier times, the king used to have a particular assistant with them who used to be very learned in Puranas, Itihasas, and many other details and facts. Okay, so that particular person would keep giving details, keep reciting these stories of different scriptures, and also from different places, different histories of that place, other places, all those things he would be giving the details to the king. So that particular person is also called a Sut. And these people used to be very learned, and they were very well aware of all the details of the things I mentioned just now. So as with these, we understand that Sanjay was one of those, and he was very learned. His father was also very learned. He was also part of this category, the third category that I mentioned. So um, the important point here also is, Sanjay, although he knew that Dhritarashtra is very much attached to his sons and they are adharmic and they are not on the right side, and Dhritarashtra, because he's so attached, he's not taking those decisions that his son is doing wrong, and he's not stopping them. But still, because he was given the service to serve Dhritarashtra, he never left his service. We see in Mahabharat, after this war was done, and when the Kauravas were defeated and they were killed, and all the sons of Dhritarashtra were killed, and only Pandavas remained. So at that point of time, after that, Yudhishthira still took care of Dhritarashtra very well. He never had bad feelings for Dhritarashtra. For 15 years, Dhritarashtra stayed in the same kingdom, taking the service from Yudhishthira Maharaj. So once Vidura came, and he said that how can you take the service of say service from Pandavas? Your sons have been killed, you have been thoroughly defeated, and you are still taking the service from Dhritarashtra. Like, what kind of person are you? So at that point of time, Vidura told him to take for renunciation, like Vanaprastha. So then Dhritarashtra decided that, okay, I will go to the forest. So he went along with his wife, Gandhari, and also Kunti Maharani went along, as well as Sanjay also went with Dhritarashtra to the forest. He was serving Dhritarashtra there. If he want to go up, down, any other thing he would need, because he was anyhow not able to see, right? So Sanjay was all the time serving him, his master. And at that point of time, after 6 months, he stayed there. For till 6 months, he stayed there in forest with Dhritarashtra. And after that, there was a fire that broke out. And these elderly people realize that we won't be able to get out from this fire. So then at that point of time, they told Sanjay to escape, and they will take fire samadhi. So at that point of time, Sanjay took the permission from Dhritarashtra, circumambulated him, offered his pranams, and then he left the forest and he left for the Himalayas. So this is the service attitude of Sanjay. This is how he served his master. And also, there is a very nice explanation that our acharyas give. Our acharyas have given the meaning of Sanjay. So, Sanjay is made up of two words, Sun and Jay. Jay, as we all know, means victory, right? So, and the four meanings that Sanjay means is one, the first meaning is one who can make someone victorious completely. The second is one who can make someone victorious in a special way. The third is one who can make someone victorious with a good result. And the fourth is one who can make someone victorious due to closeness to somebody. So we will see how all these four meanings that are given by our acharyas to the name Sanjay are all coming true in this context. Okay, the first one. So one who can make someone victorious completely, Purna Vijay. Okay, so as we see that like here elections are happening, right? So they after this elections, even if a party wins, they have won for 5 years only. Right. Again, after 5 years, there would be another elections, and there would be like if they fail again, there would be another party coming into the rule, right? But at that point of time, Yudhishthir Maharaj was the ruler of the whole world till the time he himself doesn't retire. So that's a complete victory that he got. It was not partial victory, or it was not for a temporary victory. It was a Purna victory, Purna Vijay. So that is the first meaning, that one who makes someone victorious completely. Second is one who makes someone victorious in a special way. So how in a special way? Here we see that when all the Kaurava army were getting destroyed, and there were many heroic men who were also destroyed, who were killed in the war. At that point of time, Duryodhana realized that he is also about to die, and he also understood that he had done wrong with the Pandavas. He understood his mistake. It was not like Duryodhana like he was defeated and he died with the same consciousness with which he started the war. That I want to kill all of them, and I want to rule solely, and I want to be the sole ruler of the whole world, and all the Pandavas must be destroyed, and they are the obstructions on my sense gratification. That was not the consciousness at the time of his death. He realized that he has done a mistake. So why in a special way? Because even the enemy understood their mistake. Even the enemy realized it before they die, that they have done wrong. So this is one who makes victorious someone victorious in a special way. The third meaning of Sanjay means one who makes someone victorious with a good result. So how a good result? So when Yudhishthir Maharaj became the king, he made sure that Varnashram is followed by the whole kingdom. Like whole kingdom means the whole world. So Varnashram was followed by the whole world. Every person was doing their own duty. They were not going and trying to do someone else's duty. All the women, brahmanas, cows, everyone was safeguarded. Everyone was protected perfectly under the rule of Yudhishthir Maharaj. And there were no breakage of regulative principles. Everyone was following the regulative principles. There were no crimes. There were no thieves. So we can see it was sort of a Ram Rajya under Yudhishthir Maharaj's rule. So here is a victory with a good result. There are two kinds of victory. One would be a victory with a bad result, where let's say Duryodhana becomes the king. He wants the war. Then we know what happened with Draupadi, that can happen with anyone else also, right? So the ruler must be a person who is with the right consciousness. Then only there would be God consciousness in the society. If the ruler is God conscious, then only the kingdom would be God conscious. Similarly, here Yudhishthir Maharaj ensured that, and therefore the victory was with a good result. The fourth point, victory due to closeness to somebody. So closeness to whom? Closeness to Krishna. So here we see that, as I mentioned, that Pandavas had 7 Akshavani Sena, and Kauravas had 11 Akshavani Sena. And actually, if you see, Bhishma Dev himself was sufficient to wipe out everyone else. in the battlefield. He was so powerful, and he was undefeatable, because he also had that ichha mrityu, right? He will not die until he himself desires. So, and Bhishma Dev was very powerful. Similarly, Dronacharya, Kripacharya, there are so many warriors who were so powerful. Still, even though Pandavas were not equal in strength with the Kauravas, they were not having so heroic warriors as the Kauravas, still they won. Why? Just because of that one person, the game changer, Krishna. The Lord Shri Krishna is the person who was, he was not picking up any weapon. He's not actually into the war, but he's the one who is driving the war. Each and every person in the war is being directed as per his desire, right? So Krishna, because of the closeness to Krishna, Pandavas won the war. And because of their servitude to Krishna also, we see that if there is any particular instruction given by Krishna and Yudhishthir Maharaj, no one in the Pandav army would ever question that. They will never have any doubt. They will accept it, even if it is difficult to accept, but still they will accept it, because they had full faith in Lord Krishna and King Yudhishthir. So this is how we see that all these four meanings are definitely applicable to the context, and how Sanjay is so important. He is such a learned person. Every verse in Bhagavad Gita, it is it is so accurately placed. If, let's say, particular word, we will discuss in detail when we discuss into the words of the verses. Every word, even Sanjay speaks, Arjun speaks, or Lord Krishna speaks, every word, even the first words that we discussed, which Dhritarashtra is speaking, every word has so much of meaning, where it is placed, how it is placed, what is the consciousness it is carrying. So Sanjay was one of the orators, and he was such an orator. He was so intelligent that he will know what to speak, and it should not hurt the person. Let's say Dhritarashtra is asking a very biased question here, right? But the way Sanjay would answer, as you see in this verse, he is not he is not giving him, let's say, he's not telling him, he's telling him the truth, but he's telling in a such a way that Dhritarashtra would be happy. So how that we will see now. And yes. So first of all, here, if we first see, Sanjay said, "O king, after looking over the army arranged in military formations by the sons of Pandu, King Duryodhana went to his teacher and spoke the following words." So King Duryodhana. Why this word Raja is used here? Now, Duryodhana is not the king. Still, Dhritarashtra was the king till the war will not be completed, and Duryodhana is not coronated as the king, right? But we will understand that by first understanding the first line. In the first line, what he's saying, after looking over the army arranged in military formation, King Duryodhana went to his teacher. Teacher is Dronacharya. So, first of all, the acharyas give the details of what is happening in Duryodhana's mind. When he's seeing the military formation. First of all, the first thing that comes into Duryodhana's mind is, wow, what an arrangement. So he's totally when he sees the view, the Vajra view of the Pandavas, he's totally like, he's amazed that, okay, what an arrangement, what a way of arranging particular warriors in a particular position, which makes the view almost undefeatable. It is very difficult to go into it, right? So that is the first thing that Duryodhana thinks. The second thing is, Duryodhana knew that many fighters in his army, they are not fully enthusiastic or fully desirous of the war. Example, Bhishma Dev. Bhishma Dev, he was duty bound. He had to serve the ruling party. At that point of time, the ruling party was Kauravas. So he had to serve the Kauravas, although he did not want to. He did not want to be in the war, but he had to, right? Similarly, Dronacharya, Kripacharya, there were many other warriors who were not fighting with all their hearts, and Duryodhana knew this. Although on the side of Pandavas, each and every person knew that they are fighting on the religious side, and therefore they were totally enthusiastic, because everyone knows that if a fighter is fighting for the right cause, and if he dies in the battlefield, he will surely attain the heavenly kingdom. And the fighters are always they are very desirous to fight. They want to fight, because this is their like we see there was one question I once asked to a particular devotee. I asked him, let's say there is a devotee and he is a businessman. And that particular person is always talking about money, although he's a devotee, but he's so much into, okay, I should earn more, or my business should be working like this and that. So I was like, how come this devotee is so much money minded? We don't see devotee, like devotee should not be having so much consciousness of money, right? So then that Prabhuji told me that you have to understand every person works in a particular manner. A kshatriya, if he does not have that spirit of fighting, he won't be able to fight a war. Similarly, a businessman, if he's not having that spirit of earning money, saving money, if he's not having that expansion and all those type of greed sort of thing which a businessman must have, he's not a right Vaishya. So every particular category of the Varnashram, they must have that particular spirit also to carry that consciousness. A Brahmana is forgiving. So Brahman cannot be a Brahman if he's not forgiving, if he's not austere, if he's not learned. Similarly, Kshatriya, if they are not if they are not having the spirit to fight, then how will they fight a war like this? This is such a big war. Probably another person will cry out just by seeing the war. He will just run away from the war, right? A Kshatriya is someone who wants to fight. So similarly, here all the warriors in the Pandavas side, they are enthusiastic and they're ready to fight for the war because they know it is the right thing. Because they know they are on Krishna's side. So all these 3 points that I just mentioned, they were the reasons of fear for Duryodhana. And this is why Duryodhana was fearing that I must go to my warriors and I must encourage them for a better fight, right? So this is why, after looking over the army arranged in military formation by the sons of Pandu, King Duryodhana went to his teacher and spoke the following words. So Sanjay, when he mentions that after looking, he's trying to convey this idea to Dhritarashtra that, see, your son is fearful because he knows that he's sinful, right? And yeah, so Sanjay, he's telling the truth in this way to Dhritarashtra, and also to make him happy, he's saying King Duryodhana. So King Duryodhana is not a king, but Dhritarashtra always wanted his son to be king. So just by saying king, the first line actually made Dhritarashtra sad, but the second line, he's extremely happy. He'll forget the first line altogether. So just by hearing King Duryodhana, Raja Duryodhana, Raja. So that is why Sanjay is very learned. That is what we were discussing. Sanjay is so intelligent. And so yeah, Duryodhana is fearful, and just by Raja word, the Dhritarashtra is happy now. Now Sanjay, sorry. Here we will also see that how Duryodhana is going to Dronacharya. So Dronacharya is the guru. He has given the Shastra Vidya to Pandavas and to the Kauravas equally. In fact, Dronacharya's favorite student was Arjun. So Duryodhana knew that Dronacharya has some positive inclination towards this Arjuna and towards Pandavas, and I must somehow try to ignite him so that he doesn't have that particular favorism at the time of war, because he doesn't want to lose, right? He wants to win. So that is why he is going to Dronacharya. And it is mentioned, like, once Bhagavad Gita was spoken, like Krishna spoke all the whole of Bhagavad Gita. After that, Yudhishthir Maharaj went to Dronacharya. And because Dronacharya is the guru of both the sides, right? So Yudhishthir Maharaj went to Dronacharya, and he did not went like a king. So when here Arjuna is mentioning King Duryodhana, he is also giving an idea to Yudhishthir that with what consciousness Duryodhana is going to his teacher. He is going to give orders to his guru, not to take instruction or not to take permission, but he is going to order his own guru, and he's going as a king. As a king goes to a particular subject, right? He's going like that. He's not going in a matter of submissiveness. He's going as a matter of giving authority, as an authority. So what I was mentioning, that after Bhagavad Gita was done, Yudhishthir Maharaj also went to Dronacharya. And how did he go? He left his weapons. He put down his mukut, the mukut that the king carries. He left out his shoes, nange pair. He went like that to Dronacharya. He offered his pranams. He took the permission for the war. He circumambulated him, and again offering pranams, then he went back. So this is how Yudhishthir Maharaj approaches his guru. And we saw how Duryodhana is approaching his guru as an authority, right? So in that way, Sanjay is trying to tell Dhritarashtra that, see, the consciousness of your son when he's approaching his guru is wrong. The consciousness with which he must be approaching is totally opposite, and the way he's approaching now is wrong. So this is the one thing wherein this king word is referred, right? So yeah, so like I was mentioning that each word that Bhagavad Gita, that is there in Bhagavad Gita, like here it is spoken by Sanjay, it is secret of the secrets. Even if, let's say right now you're in this class, right, where I am trying to make you understand. But if you are in a class of a very learned devotee, a very learned disciple, you would understand that even one verse, that particular person can actually take classes and classes, weeks of classes on that one verse. It is so secretive. So each word in Bhagavad Gita is so important. Most of the times it happens that the first chapter is something which people do not understand, because it seems like, okay, there are names of the warriors, and this Duryodhana is saying this warrior, that warrior, then Pandava warrior, and then we think that, okay, actually Bhagavad Gita starts from the second chapter, but it's not like that. Bhagavad Gita, each verse and each a word in each of those verses is equally important, and we understand the consciousness of who are fighting first of all in the first chapter. Okay. So now someone might have a question that why the Bhishma Pitama is the Senapati of Kauravas. Okay, so he's the main Senapati, and if Duryodhana wants to go to someone, he should actually go to Bhishma Pitama first. Why is he going to Dronacharya? Why is not going to Bhishma Pitama? So Acharyas have answered this, that Bhishma Pitama was of the same family. So actually Bhishma Pitama was having no different feelings for Kauravas or Pandavas. He considered all of them to be the same family, and he considered himself to be of the same family. So he will not have any sort of let's say uh, an issue in his mind that, okay, why is he not coming to me first, or why is he going to Dronacharya? Okay, first. So that would be first point. The second thing is, because Dronacharya is the guru, he's the Brahmana, and Brahmanas are more respected than the Kshatriyas. Bhishma Pitama is a Kshatriya. So, therefore, as per the Varnashram also, Bhishma Pitama will not take any offense because he is going to his guru first. So, Bhishma Pitama would be all fine. Although, if he goes to Bhishma Pitama first and doesn't go to Dronacharya, then Dronacharya might consider that I am his guru, he should come to me first. Right? So, that is also one of the reasons that why Duryodhana is going to Dronacharya first. And so yeah, and as I mentioned that Bhishma Pitama is also duty bound. So Duryodhana knew that he would anyhow fight for the Kauravas. He will not stop fighting, or he will not be very considerate towards the Pandavas. Uh, why? Because he knows that he has to fight for the Kauravas, and he's a duty bound person. He will not be having any favorism. But because Dronacharya's favorite student is Arjuna, and he's more compassionate towards the Pandavas, he might be thinking, he might be having some feeling in his heart that I don't want to kill them, or I don't want to be in this war, right? So to ignite Dronacharya, we will see from the next verses how he is igniting Dronacharya. So in that way, to encourage him and to convince him of the war, he is going to Dronacharya first. So this is how political Duryodhana is, right? And how cleverly we will see from verses 3 to 11, we will see how cleverly Duryodhana is seeing that who is here to fight, who is not willing to fight, then whom to convince and how to convince. And he's describing warriors. When he's describing warriors, we'll see whose name he takes first, whose name he takes second, whom he's comparing to whom. Right? So all of these details of how Duryodhana is speaking, you will understand he's such a big diplomat. So this is all we have to understand from the second verse. So first, let me just pause for a minute. And is there any question anyone has in the second verse? Okay.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Why did Bhishma Pitama take the side of the Kauravas. He's equally related to both, no, Pandava and uh,
Yes.
Dhritarashtra. I mean, isn't it? So, what was the reason? Was it duty bound? Means in what way?
Duty bound, as in he took the vow that he will always serve the ruling party.
Okay,
So at that point of time, the ruling party was Kauravas. So he
okay,
was duty bound by because of the vow he had taken.
okay. Thank you,
And
Mother.
that is also a very big reason. We will also discuss this maybe today or tomorrow next class, that how Bhishma Pitama is actually he's such a great devotee that he was such a person that, as I mentioned, Bhishma Pitama alone can destroy all the army. He doesn't need any other person along with himself. He was such a great warrior. Bhishma Pitama had war with Parshuram, who is incarnation of Vishnu himself. And at a particular point of time, Parshuram was about to get defeated from Bhishma Dev. He was such a warrior. Now you can understand someone who can defeat the Lord, how much powerful he must be, right?
Yes.
But because Parshuram was his guru, that is a different whole episode that we have to go into the detail of why that war happened. That we will not go into now, but
Okay.
we have to understand the strength of Bhishma Dev. Now, what Bhishma Dev did to give the credit for all time to come. In the history of the whole war, everyone will curse Bhishma Dev for not taking the side of Pandavas. But what was the reason he did not took the side of Pandavas? One of the biggest reason is he wanted to show the whole world that if you are the strongest person in the whole world, still, if you are on the side of adharma, you would be thoroughly defeated. Any particular situation, let's say it is favorable to the highest level to you, but if you are on the side of religion, you will definitely be defeated. So he wanted to show to the whole world that because I was not on the side of Krishna, because I was not on the side of religion, although I am being the most powerful person on the whole world, still I will get defeated. What would have happened if Bhishma Dev would have been on the side of Pandavas? Everyone would say, okay, the Bhishma Dev is on, he could easily defeat the whole army. So he was on the side of Pandavas. He is the reason why Pandavas won, right? But he wanted to give that credit to Krishna. Because of Krishna, the Pandavas won. Although they were having all the unfavorable things on their side, unfavorable in the sense of less capacity, less army, less strength, less capable warriors. They were not less capable in any sense, but they were less capable in compared to Bhishma Dev and Dronacharya and all. So in that way, they were having, they were less in every possibility as compared to Kauravas. Still, they won. Why? Because they were on the side of religion. They were on the side of Krishna. This Bhishma Dev wanted to establish for all time to come. So this is the biggest reason why Bhishma Dev, he's such a great devotee that he took that blame on himself, that let all the generations blame me for all time to come, but I will glorify my Lord. So that is the position of Bhishma Dev.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Beautiful
Thank,
explanation.
thank you so much, Mataji. Okay, any other questions? Or if not, we can move ahead. Okay, so let us go ahead. So the third verse comes, right? पश्येतां पाण्डुपुत्राणाम् आचार्य महतिं च मुं व्यूढां द्रुपदपुत्रेण तव शिष्येन धीमता. The translation says, O my teacher, behold the great army of the sons of Pandu, so expertly arranged by your intelligent disciple, the son of Drupada. So now, if I tell some particular some if I want to taunt someone, right? I will not tell things directly. I will tell things in an indirect way, right? Similarly, this is how Duryodhana is talking to his teacher now. So, first of all, we will have to see. Behold the great army of the sons of Pandu, so expertly arranged by your intelligent disciple, right? Your intelligent disciple, the son of Drupada. So, who is the son of Drupada? Son of Drupada is Drishtadyumna. Okay, and there is a whole story that we have to understand now. Um, so just you have to be very attentive here. if you are not knowing the story. If you know the story, then it would be fine. So Dronacharya and Drupad, we have to first understand. Dronacharya and Drupad were classmates. They were in the same Gurukul. And Dronacharya is a Brahmana. He's a son of Brahmana. And Drupad was a son of a king, right? So in a Gurukul, everyone is treated equally. There is nothing like, okay, a son of a king would be given more special respect, or a Brahmana would be given more respect. It's not like that. Everyone is treated equally. Everyone is given the education equally. So at that point of time, Dronacharya and Drupad were very good friends. They were best friends. So at that point of time, what Drupad said, he said that Drona, once I become the king, once I get my father's kingdom, I will give half of my kingdom to you. Okay, because you are my best friend, I will give half of my kingdom to you. So that was a time in Gurukul. Now, after the education was done, and later Dronacharya was a Brahmana. He was very, very poor. Poor in the sense, so poor, he did not have any money. But he was so austere, he was so learned, that he never even wanted any money. He was happy in his condition, in his situation. Okay, and he was happy with the austerities, he was happy with the learnings and everything that he was doing. So that was a position of Dronacharya after Gurukul. And Drupad, after Gurukul, he became the king. He got his father's kingdom. Okay, so now what happened? Dronacharya, after he got married to Kripi, Kripi is sister of Kripacharya. So after he got married to Kripi, he begot a son called Ashwatham. And as we all know, after in Grahastha life, we need money, right? And because Dronacharya was totally poor, he was not having anything at all. He started to get some issues. Okay, so at that once there is a story where Ashwathama, when he was actually playing with his friends, they told him that. We drink milk. You don't even have milk to drink, right? So Ashwathama was very much upset, and he went to his mother and said that everyone was teasing me that I do not even have milk to drink, and all others have. They did not have a cow, so they did not have milk to drink. So at that point of time, Kripi, she went to Dronacharya saying that this is the condition. Can you please arrange for a cow, or can you please do something? So, and at that point of time, she does. There is a called mand of rice, right? Maybe it is called starch. So what she did when Ashwathama was sleeping, she just put some mand, the starch of rice, on his lips. And when he got up, she said that, see, you drank milk yesterday night. You did not remember you have this the mark of milk on your lips. Go tell your classmates and your friends that you also drink milk every day. So he was very happy. He went to his friends, and he told that, see, I also have milk. I drank it yesterday night and all. So this was the condition. This was the condition of Dronacharya. He did not even have milk at that point of time. At that point of time, milk was easily available to everyone. It was not there for him also, right? So Dronacharya considered this situation, and he remembered his friend's words. And Drupad told me that I will give you half of my kingdom and all. So he went with a very big hope in his heart, that he went to Drupad, and he went there. He asked his friend that, can you just give me a cow? He did not went to ask for half of the kingdom as was promised by Drupad. He just went to ask for a cow. And Drupad, by that time, he was very much proud of his position, and he somehow he was in that consciousness of, oh, don't you know that you are such a poor Brahmin, and I'm such a opulent king. There is no match of you and mine. We are not friends. Friendship is between equals, and you and me are not equal. So he disrespected Dronacharya, and he did not give him anything. Dronacharya was very much offended by all of this. And later he got in connection with Kauravas and Pandavas, and he got the service of teaching Shastra Vidya to all the Kuru children. So then he became the king, no, sorry, he became the Guru, and he was giving all the, just a second, very sorry. Yeah, so he was giving all the details, all the Shastra knowledge to all the students, right? At that point of time, after all the knowledge was given, we have to give Guru Dakshina, right? So as part of Guru Dakshina, because he had that hatred in his heart, he still did not forget how Drupad treated him. He told his students to get Drupad binded in chains and bring it to him. Okay, so first the Kauravas went, Duryodhana went, and They tried to defeat him, but he was not able to, and he came back. Later, Pandavas went, and Pandavas were able. They could defeat Drupad and Arjuna because he was extremely powerful. He came back with Drupad in chains. He was taken down on knees, and at that point of time, Dronacharya insulted Drupad. What did Dronacharya say? You are being on your knees in front of me as of now. You are defeated, and all your kingdom belongs to me. At this point of time, I I want to become your friend, and I want to gift you half of my kingdom. So you understood? He's saying all your kingdom is mine, and I want to gift you half of the kingdom back to you. Okay, so this is the way how Dronacharya made Drupad realize his mistake, but it was not like Drupad realized it. He got offended now. So then he went back. Okay, Drupad went back. Later, Drupad, there was only one good thing that happened out of all of this. Drupad was so enraged that he did a fire sacrifice to get a son and a daughter called Drishtadyumna and Draupadi. So Drishtadyumna and Draupadi were the son and daughter of Drupad, and they were born of fire. So now, because there is a rule, right? Every particular warrior, and why this fire sacrifice was done? He wanted a son who would kill Dronacharya. So this is the reason why he did the fire sacrifice. Okay, so Drupad did the fire sacrifice to beget a son who would kill Dronacharya in a war. So that was the reason of Drishtadyumna being born. So now, when Drishtadyumna's education age came in, Drupad took Drishtadyumna and went to Dronacharya that can you please give him Shastra Vidya? Okay. At this point of time, Dronacharya knew that this particular son is born to kill me. Any other person in this point of time, even if they don't know that this particular is born to kill me, if they just know that this person is going to cause me harm, they will hate him like anything. We saw Kamsa also at the time. He got that prediction, right, that eighth son of Devaki would be his Kal. At that same moment, he was wanting to kill Devaki, right? So this is how the mentality. But just see the mentality of Dronacharya. Even after knowing that this particular son will kill me, he still gave him all the knowledge. He took him as a student. He gave all the knowledge, and it was not like he's giving him 50% or partial knowledge. He gave him 100% knowledge. And this is how he gave all the knowledge, and he made him a good warrior. Okay, Dronacharya made Drishtadyumna a very good warrior. Now, at this point of time, when the war is happening, Drishtadyumna is on the side of Pandavas, and he is now against Dronacharya, right? He is in the war field. He's on the Pandavas side, and Dronacharya is on the Kauravas side. Duryodhana is trying to entice Dronacharya by saying this line, so expertly arranged by your intelligent disciple, which means Drishtadyumna, right? So Drishtadyumna has arranged the whole military phalanx, and this is how your intelligent disciple. He's not saying this is arranged by Drishtadyumna. He's saying your intelligent disciple. So this is the first set of words which Duryodhana is using as a taunt to Dronacharya to entice him to become fiery. And the son of Drupad. So here also there is no need actually to say the son of Drupad. He could have said, if he would have said so expertly arranged by Drishtadyumna, it would solve both these things, right? By your intelligent disciple was not needed. The son of Drupada was not needed. But he's saying this to entice Dronacharya. Okay, understood everyone at how Duryodhana is using such kind of words, right? So this is how he's trying to create anger, and he doesn't want Dronacharya to be lenient in the war. Why he's doing all of this? One of the reason, as I mentioned earlier, that he knew that Dronacharya had some soft corner for the Pandavas, right? So he did not want that Dronacharya becomes lenient in the war, and he's not fighting to his full capacity. So if he's enraging him, if he's trying to fire him up by saying all these words, the son of Drupad. So Drupad, just by hearing Drupad's name, Dronacharya would be angry, right? And then he would be like, let me kill this person. So this is This is why Duryodhana is using all these words. Okay. So any other doubts anyone is having? Is the whole context clear to everyone
Yes,
of
Mataji.
Dronacharya, Drupad, Drishadumna, Duryodhana's words, D. Sometimes it can be confusing, but if you just try to hear it slowly once, you would be able to understand the whole story. Okay, so then if there are no questions, let us move ahead. So just a second, we will try to cover this one. Is this visible? Is the slide visible to all?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay.
We can see the Veda base site. I can't see any.
Not updated, Mataji. Page not
Okay,
updated.
okay, let me share back once. Okay, now?
Yeah, we can see.
Okay, fine. So here in the verse 1.3, we will see how Duryodhana is pointing out Dronacharya's mistake. So we just saw in the second verse, he's saying he went to his guru, right? He went to his guru. But now, sorry, this was the third verse that we covered, right? Pashyatam Panduputranam. Right. Then in the fourth verse, Duryodhana is describing the warriors of the opposing army. Okay, so what is the verse? Atra Shura Maheshwasa Bhimarjuna Samayudhi Yuyudhano Viratascha Drupadascha Maharathaha. Okay, so here what he is saying, if I go to the Vedavis, just a second. Yes. So here Duryodhana is saying, here in this army are many heroic bowmen, equal in fighting to Bhima and Arjuna, great fighters like Yuyudhana, Virata, and Drupada. Okay. So he's describing all the other, he would start taking names, right? The first thing that Duryodhana mentioning here is, in this army are many heroic bowmen, equal in fighting to Bhima and Arjuna. So here, whose army is being described, first of all? Is it Kaurav army or Pandav army? Can someone answer?
It is
He's
Pandava's
talking about
army.
his own army, Duryodhana's army.
Kauravas,
Yes,
Mataji.
this is Duryodhana's army, right? So what he's doing, he's trying to compare the warriors of his army to Bhima, Arjuna, and other okay, here these are the great fighters, but they are being compared to Bhima and Arjuna. Now, someone might question that why is he taking Bhima's name first, right? Equal in fighting to Bhima. So here, because we must understand Duryodhana was always fearful of Bhima. Why? Because at the time of because when the Chirharan happened, right, with Draupadi. So after that, Duryodhana tapped his lap and he told Draupadi to come and sit on his lap, right? He slapped his thighs and he said that you come and sit on my thighs, right? At that point of time, Bhima was so enraged, so enraged. He just got mad and he was about to almost kill Duryodhana. He said, with this the thing that you have done right now, this thighs, I will tear it apart in the battlefield. And he told to Dushashan that, you stone-hearted person, this is what you have done with Draupadi. You have a heart like stone, I will tear away your heart in the battlefield. So Bhima was someone who was very, very powerful. Even if you will consider when the Pandavas came back from the 13 years, right? And when it was being discussed that there should be a war or not. So at that point of time, everyone was discussing that if there can be something Just sorry, my office thing is coming in between. Just a minute. So at that point of time, every Pandava was discussing if there can be a peace, there should not be a war, is what they were thinking. Yudhishthira, Arjuna, everyone. Bhima was someone who was not ready to discuss this. He was like, I will kill them all in the war. There is no need for a peace treaty, right? Bhima was always ready to kill Kauravas because what they have done with every one of them, right? So Duryodhana knew how powerful Bhima is, and he knew how enraged Bhima is. He was always fearful of Bhima, therefore he takes the name of Bhima first. He takes a great heroic men equal in fighting to Bhima and Arjuna. Arjuna, of course, he knew that Arjuna was best among all, and the capability of Arjuna is known to everyone. So this is the reason here Duryodhana is mentioning the names of Bhima and Arjuna. So yeah, why he compares them to Bhima and Arjuna? Because he knew the strength of both of them. And why he mentioned other heroes? Because they were great stumbling blocks on the path of victory, as each and every one of them was as formidable as Bhima and Arjuna. So the other warriors that he mentioned, right? Yuyudhana, Virata, and Drupada. So Drupada is, as we have already discussed, Drupad was anyhow against Dronacharya. So he was also in the Pandav army. Virat and Yuyudhana. Yeah, so Yuyudhana, I forgot now. I will tell you in the next class who Yuyudhana was. And Virat is basically in the 13th year, the Agyatvas of Pandavas, right? So they were when the Pandavas had to hide in the last year of their punishment. In the last year, they divided themselves as servants in the kingdom of Virata. So Virata was a king who had a lot of respect for the Pandavas. He had heard a lot of things about the Pandavas, but he had never seen them. So he never knew how Pandavas look like or who they are exactly, right? So when the Pandavas went to this kingdom, so like they divided amongst themselves. Bhima went to as a rasoya. He went to the kitchen. Arjuna became the teacher of the daughter of Virata, and similarly, like Yudhishthir Maharaj, Draupadi, everyone went at different places and they were serving the king, right? So in that last 1 year, they were disguised in this form. And at the end of that particular 1 year, when King Virat came to know that, okay, these are the Pandavas, and he was so ashamed that, okay, I got service from Yudhishthir Maharaj. He's the son, sorry, he's Dharmaraj. So how can I get service from him? And he was so ashamed, and he told that, can you please like he told Arjuna that, can you please marry my daughter? So Arjun told that his daughter, he gave him lessons in music, right? So he considered her as his daughter. Arjun considered Virata's daughter as his daughter, so he could not marry him. So he said that you can marry him to my son. Okay, so the son of Subhadra, Abhimanyu, he was married to Virat. So this way, Virat, the king, he was also favorable to Pandavas. So he was also on the warrior. He was also a warrior, very great warrior, but on the side of Pandavas. So this way, we also see that how Pandavas have not wasted their 13 years. When they were in the 13 years, they were making allies. They were making friends, right? They were not creating war-like situations with everyone else. What Duryodhan and other party was doing in the 13 years when the Pandavas was exiled. We see that Karna, he went on a fight with all the other regions, right? He was fighting with different kings, and he was trying to capture them, and he was making them as their enemies, right? So that is one mistake that Karna did. And Duryodhan and other one, they were always happy in their sense enjoyment, and they were thinking that Pandavas will never ever return. Even if they return, we'll never give them anything. So this way they wasted their 13 years, although Pandavas have utilized those 13 years in preparing for such a situation, right? So they were not wasting, and Bhima was always aware of what he has to do after getting back. So this is the verse wherein we see how Duryodhana is comparing, okay, to the warriors of. Okay, now Duryodhana names more warriors in verse 1.5. Drishtaketuschetikanah Kashirajascha Viryavan Purujit Kunti Bhojascha Saivyascha Narapungava. So here if we see the translation, there are also great, heroic, powerful fighters like Drishtaketu, Chekitana, Kashiraj, Purojit, Kunti Bhoj, and Saibhya. So who are these? Just a minute. So Drishtaketu, he was, just a minute, I'm not able to see. So Drishtaketu was a son of Shishupal. So as we all know that Shishupal was basically against Krishna, but he was not against Pandavas. He was favorable to the Pandavas. So that is why his son Drishtaketu, he was on the side of Pandavas. And Shishupal was against Lord Krishna, but not against Pandavas. Chekitana was a Yadav in dynasty of Vrishni, and he was a very chivalrous Maharathi and was one of the commanders-in-chief of the Pandav army. I would just like to pause. It's 5 o'clock. So, do we want to complete this verse, or we can take it in the next class also?
Let's
Or if-
complete, Mataji.
Let us
Let
complete,
others-
Mataji.
Okay. Everyone else is agreeing? Okay.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Yes,
Since we have started, let us finish it.
Okay. Chekitana was a Yadav, yeah, as I mentioned, he was in the dynasty of Vrishni. He was a Maharathi. So there are different what I can say, designations to the warriors, right? There is a Rathi, there is Ati Rathi, there is Maharathi. So based on how many people they can fight with. So a Rathi is one who can fight with one person on a Rath, and he can defeat that person. Maharathi, I guess he can fight with, there is a slide, just a second. Yeah, so here it is mentioned, Atirati is one who fights with unlimited troops, 1,000 or 10,000, between 10,000 to 10,000, he can fight with them alone and he can defeat them also. And Maharathi is one alone with 10,000 archers, and he's an expert in both weapons and scripture. So here when Duryodhana is saying Maharathi, he's mentioning all these warriors, right? So this is how he's telling the strength of the other army, and why he's telling the strength of other army is he wants to make his army understand the strength of the enemy, and thus be always enthusiastic. Why he's also trying to make them enthusiastic is that what I told you right earlier, that he knew that he's on the sinful side, and all the people on his side are not enthusiastic actually to win the war. They are thinking like, okay, why are we on this side? Or they are having some particular affection towards Pandavas, but on the Pandava side, everyone is enthusiastic to fight. So he's trying to tell the strength of the other army to his army people. At this point of time, he's telling to Dronacharya and in a way to all his warriors that just see how capable the other party is. Okay. And just don't be less enthusiastic in fighting the war. This is the whole point of mentioning all of these as Maharathis and all. Okay. So Chekitana he was a chivalrous Maharathi. And every person whose name is, as I mentioned earlier, is mentioned in Gita, he himself, that particular person is very, very glorious. Okay. So all of these warriors were very glorious. Kashiraj, he was a king of Kashi, and he also fought on the side of Pandavas. Purujit and Kuntibhoj were the brothers of Kunti. So they were also on the side of Pandavas and they were ready to fight. Saibhya was a father-in-law of Maharaj Yudhishthir. So Yudhishthir Maharaj got married to Devika, and Devika's father was Saibhya. And he's also known as Narapungava, the best of men, and he was recognized as very powerful and heroic warrior. So this way, in this particular verse, Duryodhana is giving the details of all these very chivalrous, very great warriors, and telling mentioning the word Maharathi and all, so that he can convey the idea of that how capable they are, and we should not be lazy. We should not be having any good feelings towards the Pandavas and fighting the war. So yeah, that is the verse 1.5, and we will continue this in the next class, wherein we will go till 11th verse, and we will by the words of Duryodhana, we will see how he is trying to entice everyone. So, okay, any questions, anyone now? Okay. So I would also request devotees to have some questions, because even if you think that it's a simple question, sometimes it happens that many other people are also having that same question. They are not, they are thinking if to ask or not. And because someone asked it, they also, many people get benefited, right? And in fact, by your questions, I will also get benefited, because if I don't know the answer, I will also try to find it out. So even if you have any question, simple, big or small, you can ask.
Hare Krishna Mataji, how to remember all these names? It's
No, Mataji, if you just remember Hare Krishna,
That's
Krishna
what.
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Ram
Hare.
Ram, Hare Hare.
That is sufficient. If you want to learn the verses of Bhagavad Gita, then there are many ways, tricks to how we can learn the verses. So it's not very important, although instead, even if we want to learn all the 700 verses, that's a very nice idea, but the whole point is also to understand the essence of it. So your question, do you want to learn the verses? Is this
Yes,
what you're
yes, Mataji.
asking?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so you can, what you can do is, one of the tip that I heard earlier was that what we can do, every day we can recite, let's say whenever we are cooking. So let's say you are cooking, you can keep that particular verse stuck up in the wall in your kitchen, and just keep on repeating it. Just like when you're cooking, just keep on repeating that verse. So, and you can try to tell this to your family members also.
That's what.
So whenever I try to learn a verse, I try to particularly practice in front of my husband, because he's very particular with the pronunciation. So he'll tell me, okay, you're going wrong here, you're going wrong there. So that way we can tell to our family members, and we can have a target. Let's say I will learn 5 verses in 5 days or in a week. In this way, we can have a target and we can track. And we can tell
Okay.
one person that, "Okay, you please keep track of me. You please ask the report." So because of that particular thing, we generally try to learn these verses.
Thank
And
you.
yeah, we'll
Mataji,
have to repeat, then we can understand. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mataji, just as you said, I just wanted to tell that last week when I was about to, they told me to tell one sloka in Bhagavatam, Canto 1, 1.3, third sloka. So what happened, I had a week time. So one line I was keep on telling while cooking. So that line, I remember the whole day while traveling and also while going to office, I was remembering that same line again and again. I referred the Google, and I was by that time I by-hearted that line. Likewise, next in 2-3 days I by-hearted that sloka itself. So I felt so happy. Okay, fine. Now I am able to at least tell one complete sloka. So
Yes,
as you
yes.
said, it's very, very good idea, Mataji.
Yes. Thank you so much, Mataji, for sharing that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I can see Shri Priya Mataji. You have a question?
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams.
Hare Krishna
Mataji,
Mataji,
just
Rangat.
a small doubt. Kunti Puja is Kunti's brother, is it, or Kunti's father? Just a
It is
small doubt.
mentioned as brother here. Kunti
Yeah, in the slide,
Bhoja.
I think it was mentioned as brother.
Kunti Bhoja and Purujit are mentioned as
Send me the slide,
brothers.
please, if you don't mind.
Sorry, do you want me to share the slide?
If you can just,
Sure.
I
Yeah.
think it is brother is what is there in the slide.
Yeah. So Purujit and Kunti Bhoja were brothers of Kunti.
Both are brothers, huh?
Okay, just a second. Okay, let me get back to you, Mataji. I will get a
Okay, Mataji.
confirmation.
No worries. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Okay, yes, Mataji. Thank you for pointing out. Okay. Any other doubt, anyone? Just one thing, all of you are able to follow the conversation, right? First, Dhritarashtra is asking, we understand his consciousness in the way he's asking. Then Sanjay is trying to give the answer, and he's trying to make Dhritarashtra realize that, see, you are not on the right side. Your son has a bad consciousness. This is how he's approaching his guru. He's giving taunts to his guru, and he's trying to entice his guru. And the words that he's using, this is what Sanjay is trying to tell now. So the way we are moving ahead in Bhagavad Gita, it's a conversation, right? So we have to understand, like two people are conversing between each other. So in that way, when we try to understand the shlokas, then we are able to understand the flow of Gita. Okay. So if you have any doubt in between, you can also ask that point of time. Okay, I guess then if there are no more doubts, we are good to close for today. And all of you can go through the translations and the purports till verses 1.5. So from 2nd to 5th verse we can cover. Okay. Thank you so much to all the devotees. I'm really grateful that you have given me this chance to serve and to also go through in the secrets of Bhagavad Gita, which is so relishing. Thank you so much. Please accept my humble obeisances at your lotus feet. Vancha kalpatarubhascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patita nam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so
Hare
much.
Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you so much, Rosie. Hare Krishna.
Nice.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.